Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of The Language of Leadership. I'm your host, Chuck Marting. Did a lot of thinking over this last week to 2 weeks, and I've received a lot of emails from individuals. All seem to be the same types of questions, and that's how do you deal with employees? How do you deal with your team? I had to look back at a lot of things going on in my own journey with my own team and the people that I've worked. And I've looked over, we've been in business now for 14 years. And during that time, I've had a few employees and a few team members. Some of them I learned a lot of lessons from. Some of them, it was hard to see them go. And then there was some that we're grateful that we still have. And it's trying to understand, how can I be the best leader that I can be? And I think that's the only thing that you can really do for your team, and helping them to understand and realize the importance of what they do and how they contribute to your business or the work that you do. So I had to look back at some things that helped me in trying to realize and to incorporate a lot of those things, and also bring that to you here on the language of leadership, so that we can all grow and so that we can all get to that point of realization and understanding, and also to better ourselves. And the one thing that I had to look back at, the one thing that gave me a lot of focus and a lot of understanding and helped me gain more as a leader, was when I read the book, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. Now, there are a lot of different things in that book that come to mind when you start looking at it. And I'm going to leave a link in the show notes for you to be able to download a free copy of that book if you wish. I actually have a copy of it that is the 1910 edition, and it's incredible to be able to read it in his voice, in his understanding, and in his writing, and to figure how long that book has been out. It's incredible. Now, that book also spawned a lot of different things. The movie The Secret was based on the reading of that book that encouraged the author to be able to go out and create The Secret, to help share with people like what I'm sharing with you on how to be successful and how to be able to accomplish the things that you're wanting to accomplish in your life. So there are a lot of different things that have come from this. And so what I've decided to do is I'm going to do a series on this, on one of the principles that he's taught, because he's given a chapter to this, but I think there's more involved in it. And so I'm going to do a 4-part series and really ask you to dive deep into this and to realize how important this is, and then to see for yourself by incorporating the things that we're going to teach here into your daily leadership and with your team. And I ask you to do this for the next 30 days and see if there's a difference that you notice. I guarantee you that you will. That's the reason why I'm doing this, because I need to go back myself and do this. So I'm going to be doing it with you. So I'm not asking you to do anything that I haven't done or that I will not do again. And so now we're going to bring this to you. With that being said, let's get started. Today, we're going to begin one of those transformational series. Okay. And it's going to be based on what I said, the science of getting rich. And in reality, it is one of the most powerful forces a leader can harness. So what principle is it that I'm wanting to share with you that I'm going to make a 4-part series of? Well, gratitude. Gratitude is probably one of the most misunderstood values and principles that we have in leadership. Now, before you tune out or assume you've already heard it all before, I want to make a bold claim. If you understand what gratitude really is, as a strategic, energetic alignment with creativity and creative power, and if you practice it the way Wallace D. Wattles teaches in his 1910 classic, The Science of Getting Rich, you will become unstoppable. You'll become rich. This isn't just about money, though. You can become rich in relationships, opportunity, clarity, time, and influence, wealth in every domain. Now, this series is titled Gratitude as an Alignment, a Leadership Operating System. And today we're going to start with the core problem, the misunderstanding of what gratitude is and what it is not. So let's look at the old definition versus the true powerful definition. Most people think gratitude as a feeling that shows up after something good happens. You get the promotion, you feel grateful. You avoid the crisis, you feel grateful. But real leaders, creators, visionaries, builders of movements and companies and culture, they know that this kind of gratitude is backward. Wallace D. Wattles flipped the script. He said gratitude is a cause, not a consequence. It's a frequency that you choose to live in. And by doing so, you can come into harmony with the creative forces of the universe, what he called the formless substance, or what we might call God, source, or universal intelligence. Now, the grateful mind is constantly fixed upon the best. Therefore, it tends to become the best. It takes the form of character of the best and will receive the best. So if you're only grateful when things go your way, you're missing the real power. Gratitude rightly practiced is about direction, not reaction. It's not thank you for what happened. It's thank you for what's becoming. So Wallace D. Wattle's radical teaching is something that's interpreted by so many different people. So let's go to the source of it. It's in The Science of Getting Rich, chapter 7, and it's all about gratitude. And that one section stands out as controversial, but it's also deeply profound. So, one of the things that you read is do not waste time thinking or talking about the shortcomings or wrong actions of plutocrats. They have major opportunity. Do not rage against corrupt politicians. Be grateful to them all. This will bring you into harmonious relations with the good in everything, and the good in everything will move forward towards you. Wallace D. Wattles isn't saying these people are morally right. He is saying to accept injustice. He is saying, Wallace D. Wattles isn't saying these people are morally right. He isn't saying to accept injustice. What he is saying is, don't let resentment control your focus. Because what you focus on, you multiply. This idea, it trips up a lot of modern thinkers. How can we be grateful for broken systems or corrupt leadership? Wallace D. Wattles, he puts that answer in the book as well. Because they are part of the current infrastructure through which your opportunity flows. If you can use it without being used by it, you rise. So modern leaders who live this have realized its power. So let's bring this to real life. Sarah Blakely, she was the founder of Spanx. She didn't rage against the male-dominated VC world that rejected her. She thanked the rejections for sharpening her pitch. She bootstrapped. She sold her direction. She aligned with her vision, not the system. Her gratitude for this resistance became her advantage. How about Howard Schultz, Starbucks founder? He grew up in a public housing system. He could have resented inequality, but instead, he was grateful for the view it gave him of what people needed, which is dignity and third places, better jobs. That gratitude became $100 billion company. Now, what about Oprah Winfrey? She was the victim of abuse, racism, rejection. but she never pretended that those things were good. But she found the good in herself anyway because of it. Her entire leadership brand is rooted in gratitude as power. Now, these leaders don't practice reactive gratitude. They live in a generative gratitude. Now, how to practice this the right way and to practice it right now. If you're leading a company, a team, a movement, or even just yourself, you need to instill this mindset. One, stop fighting everything that's wrong. Instead, build something better. Number two, stop waiting for reasons to be grateful. Choose gratitude as your default lens. And three, practice daily directional gratitude. So here's a quick 3-part method. Acknowledge. Acknowledge what frustrates you in your leadership environment. And then ask, how is this giving me an opportunity to grow, lead, or even create? And then third, affirm, I am grateful that this exists because it is training me for the next level. And Wallace D. Wattles gives a promise when you do this. His promise was pretty bold, but it's you will become rich. Because when you live in harmony with the creative force and you think about and you act in a certain way that he describes, you cannot help but succeed. Gratitude is the tuning fork. It is the signal to the universe that you are ready. It is the alignment that moves people, resources, and ideas into your path. And it is the most underrated leadership skill in the world. This is not a soft skill. It's not a nice to have. Instead, it is an operating system. Now, in this first part of our gratitude series, in this episode, I've torn down the old soft definitions of gratitude and rebuilt it as a leadership discipline fueled by alignment and powered by source. Now, if this sparks something in you, then stay with me. In the next episode, we're going to be talking about systems, the very ones you might feel oppressed by or frustrated with. And I'm going to show you how to see systems not as barriers, but as stepping stones to your wealth. And remember this, you become rich by thinking and acting in a certain way. That way begins with gratitude. I'm Chuck Marting, and this is the language of leadership. Until next week, when we give you the second part of the gratitude series, take care.